Hachi macha.
It's like
You love saying
it's
it.
too close. Hachi machi. It's too close in here.
Look at you.
Hold on, before we start.
Look at gear. Welcome to the Corn Corner Podcast.
Wow! Oh my god, it's so cool.
I'm Wicked Wren.
What's that? Thank you. Oh my god.
You're really living in the moment.
You know, that's what I do.
All right, do yours first. Do it.
Okay. Shit. It's not gonna be as funny as yours.
It's always funnier. Yours is funnier than mine. Go, let's do it.
I'm Cam Damage, and what kind of pen do you think Jean-Claude Van Damme uses? Curly or straight?
This guy is long.
Do you like it though?
Yeah, like
Thank you. I was off the cuff. I didn't have one. I just can't. I said words, and I just kept following it. What's a curly pen?
I have
What are we talking about?
I have no idea what you said.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be supportive.
Thank you so much.
I'm Wicked Wren, and they always talk about a dry humor, but what about a wet humor?
That's the thing. The humors.
Dry, wet humor is the thing. Today we're talking about something you do every day of your life. You might even have one of them in your pocket that abides you in doing this activity.
Abides you.
Doesn't that mean allows you?
I suppose, yeah. It's just a real weird use of it. Anyway, today we're talking about handwriting.
Now, people communicate through a written language.
Oftentimes.
And a lot of ways that we do that is through writing down letters.
Yeah.
We write down pictures, and those things represent thoughts.
We write down pictures.
You can write down a photograph.
Instead of saying drawing ever, I want you to say I was writing a picture.
And a lot of times people will do this to convey their thoughts. There's poets out there, and they got their start by writing.
By learning how to write with their hands and ink
They did.
on a page.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
We started with the quill.
There's probably something else, but yes.
Have you ever used one of those dip pens and ink kind of pens?
Yeah. I used to try to use a fountain pen because I was like, fucking edgelord.
Yeah.
Like so stupid. What an inconvenient thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You would do it in school?
No.
Where would you do it?
After maybe college, when you were journaling and you're like, oh, I journal with a fountain pen.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Wild.
Can you imagine someone in class at college or something?
No.
You know, you're in your gen ed shit and someone's in there taking notes with a goddamn fountain pen.
No, but I have a friend that used to tape a sheet on the ground in college, so things would surprise you.
Someone else, I'm glad. Genius, they
It's
are.
not someone else, it's you. You actually did that. So you would journal, and what are some of the things that how would you start journaling? What are things you would write in there?
Well, we journaled, whatever, because I don't do it like you do anymore. But mine looked different than yours, where it was more like writing pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. And lyrics and shit around them.
Wow.
And I just found my little stupid sketchbook thing again.
Oh, I remember looking at it. 9 Inch Nails
Yeah,
all
over the place. But that was more of my journaling. I
That's
didn't
cool.
write my thoughts and stuff like that.
Do you did you used to draw a lot?
Yes. Wasn't very good at it, but we did it a lot.
And you don't do that anymore.
No, I used to make up to last year or something. I would draw little silly comics that were puns,
Cute.
like the Snailer. And it would be a sailor that has a little, and he'd be like, the
that's so
sea,
fun.
she haunts me, and things like that. Seal of approval, and it's a seal that's saying, you're doing a good job.
Oh, that's so great. You should start doing these again.
Mike says it too, so maybe
Yeah.
I will. Who knows?
As someone who has never drawn, doesn't really have a lot of that
Yeah.
desire, you should do it because you're good at it.
I want to get an iPad and do the Procreate, so you can be kind of shitty, and then it's
Yeah.
no, this looks baller, and you're like, oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. The iPad is pretty incredible with it. I've thought about doing it a couple times, but I
It's a
just don't
commitment.
think I would stay with it.
Yeah, it's a monetary commitment.
I just I don't like enjoy using technology for stuff like that, for writing.
Yeah.
Like I even had to get out of the habit of using my phone for like notes and like reminders, like to-do lists.
Because I won't look at them.
Yeah, because like I feel like I used to use a piece of paper and I had the system and it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then when like
You put a post-it somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then when like the iPhones kind of got good and they came out the reminders app and they got all these other apps, I was like, hey, let me do these.
That's what I wondered.
But I hate them.
When you suggested handwriting as a topic, I was like, how many kids today don't even like barely handwrite things out?
Yeah.
Because like I would send you a thing with my family in our group chat the other day where
a limp hand. It was like,
it was pretty strong there, I think.
no, we're going to play it back. Okay. Anyway.
Where we were talking about, my mom was talking about the coin like thing, like a thing that collects your coins.
Yeah, it's like anybody need this.
Yeah, and we were all like, "Fucking what?" And
Why?
and she said that when you take your coins to the bank, and I said I don't go in the bank.
She said it so matter of factly.
Yeah, but we don't write checks. Like
No.
I did write checks when I was first out of college to pay for rent and stuff, but we don't write checks anymore.
Yeah.
I wonder how many kids that are a generation below us that like in their 20s that wouldn't know how to write a fucking check.
Yeah.
And just don't use things in handwritten technology.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
you.
that often.
Yeah. Well, I find that my handwriting is pretty rough because I never really write.
Yeah.
Also, my spelling has gotten really bad because I'm used to just kind of putting out the thoughts of what the word
phone
is.
Yeah,
it'll
like
fix
got it.
So, like, I mean, my spelling's always been bad,
Yeah.
but it hasn't gotten better because it hasn't had to.
Huh.
You know?
This brings me around again to I want to do the Corn Corner Spelling Bee video really badly.
It's just going to be mortifying for me
It sounds great to me.
because I have
As
no
the
idea.
mortifee usually.
That's not true. You have the upper hand on this podcast usually.
When I eat dog food.
I do remember that, but you also wanted to do it. You
That's
said,
true.
feed me the dog food.
I thought it would be funny.
And it didn't do well.
Once again, every episode, we're going to be like, dog food, the biggest failure of the Corn Corner.
We've had a lot of failures over the years.
The years.
This one was one of our biggest. So when you used to write in school,
Yeah.
do you remember the feeling of a new notebook?
Yes. And I didn't like new notebooks.
Because it's kind of daunting.
Well, that, and I thought it was fun to have. I was the type of person, once you got further into school and taking notes was like a big thing. I loved taking notes.
Yeah.
I still do. But I was super specific about the organization and like categorization and shit
Yeah.
of my notes. So if you look through one of my notebooks that had gotten even half full, it was like, wow, that looks baller.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoyed about that.
That's fun.
But a new notebook is like, oh, there's not shit going on here, you know?
Yeah, you got to start new.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And that's why I have a journal that I have not started using, that I just got like a week or two ago.
Wow.
Because it's new. And I'm opening it and I'm like,
How am I
farts.
going to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had an issue with journaling, but recently it's kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I got some journals for Christmas. That's what I asked for. And yeah, now it's just like writing's easier. But also I started like doing music again. So
Yeah.
I'm writing lyrics, I'm writing ideas. So it gives me a thing to do versus like, I think it's never stuck for me because it was always like talking about my day. Like during Christmas or something, like back like when I was in college, I would journal a lot because there's a lot of new things happening. I'll go and travel, see new friends or whatever.
It was just to like document memories. Was that your intention?
Yeah. And I got really introspective and I would go to coffee shops and like the equivalent of the fountain pen, you know, like kind of situation.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I was finding what a latte was. Like it was like kind of like went along the same line. So it was like easy to like kind of journal about those things.
That makes sense.
But then, you know, like when you're just doing life and like it's hard to.
I don't need to write down at this point where I am in my life. I don't need to write down how I'm feeling day to day because I'm never going to, unless it would be for a catharsis of some kind, which is not how I work.
But maybe you should, because honestly, think about a year ago where you were. different person. And like
what
hearing
month is it
about
again?
your thoughts, like then 2 years ago, your thoughts.
A year
like,
ago is when I like started transitioning, technically.
I mean, I feel like it might be cool because like in a year, like,
That's crazy. Side note.
yeah, like, could you imagine like in a year, it's going to be 2 years?
No, wait. 2 years. No. I can't keep track.
I think it's been a year
Yeah.
since you've been on.
November
like,
was a year since that I've been on T.
Yeah.
So March of
A year
last.
and
So
a
now we're
half-ish.
2 years since I cut my hair off. Anyway, this doesn't matter.
But I do think it would be cool to like see your thoughts.
Maybe like as they change over time.
Yeah, you should just be like, I'm feeling like this today. I'm feeling like I don't fit in with this, or feel like I'm whatever it is.
I feel like that goes back to the issue of what you already said with technology, where so like you are writing lyrics and poetry for music reasons, and you write them down in your journal using handwriting.
Yeah.
But I kind of do some like poetry. It's not really that. It's just like phrases, and I make those memes on my shitty Instagram.
Yeah. It's great.
And that's my like
Yeah.
pseudo journaling whatever thing.
That's cool.
And that's also how we use social media as a journal. Twitter, random posts, that's journaling, but it's just
I guess
putting
you're
it-
right.
Yeah. And I also grew up, now the subject is just fucking journaling on this, but
Well, you have to write.
I grew up with like the Zanga or Live Journal.
Yeah.
Things like that, literally Live Journal, like that are just journals for us
You're
online.
right. I guess the way you approach social media is like a journal.
Yes. Only I don't divulge as much as a lot of people do, and they need to lock it up.
Yeah, I just never like with Zynga, that never made sense to me. Even like MySpace, it didn't make sense to me.
MySpace was different because that was a social networking
Yeah.
site, but Zanga and those were absolutely a journal, like whatever board thing.
That never made sense to me. Like I never had a desire to share my thoughts with anyone.
That's so interesting.
I even have that on social media now where it's like I kind of hate social media.
Yeah.
Like
You get very overwhelmed by like what to do.
Yeah, because I just don't give a fuck about like tweeting these thoughts. Like it doesn't do anything for me.
It's just funny. I mean, if they're funny thoughts, it's not funny if they're serious thoughts. But
Yeah, but then I feel a lot of pressure. You know, I feel like, you know, like we have friends that post funny things all the time, and like I'm like, how do you like the pressure of continually doing it is like
you don't have to continue to do it though. You just do shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm insomnia nights, I'll post like 10 things in like an hour just to
Yeah.
be like, meh, like, and then I won't post anything funny for like a week.
Yeah, I guess I do like write that stuff in my little journal. Like to me, I think about it as like almost an act of like rebellion against the idea that like I'm going to stop. Like I've painted in my head where people are like, oh yeah, you got a journal. What are you gonna do? You can do for a week and then quit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck you.
I'm in this for life.
Yeah, like so I make myself fill it up. So like my goal is to fill out that notebook.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna put it on a shelf, get another notebook.
And then will
like,
you ever go back to that notebook?
probably yeah.
I
'Cause
suppose I look back at my little middle school sketchbook thing and I'm like, huh.
I have a little like I flag a page if there's something on it that I really liked that I like came up with or something. I'll like flag it. But a lot of times I'm just like, today was a weird day, you
Yeah.
know, whatever. And I just kind of like get these thoughts out. Like I feel like it's like a washing of my mind.
Yeah.
And do you feel like that helps?
It's like a brainwashing.
I'm brainwashing myself. But I do feel like that helps.
It probably would be helpful for a lot of people. So I mean, I get to have a little bit of this.
You can have a little bit of coffee. Now, for audio only listeners, we are breaking a rule, a long stead rule. We are eating a hash brown. And it's because we are hungry and we need to have this food.
Because I clocked in at 8 a.m.
You sure did.
and we had English muffins that I brought. So now it's your contribution.
Do you have one of your favorite pens? Do you have a favorite pen?
I feel it's the same ones you talk about. The roller ink ones. I just the big ones.
Yeah.
I don't like anything crazy. Remember when like gel pens, like colorful jelly pens and shit were all the rage?
I remember.
Yeah. Did you enjoy them?
Yeah, I really did. I had them all. I had a ton of them. I remember I forgot about this, so you just said it. But I had a teal one. Like, it was these, like, soft, kind of, like, teal iridescent.
They were like pastel, and they look different on the paper.
Yeah. Those, to me, were amazing.
It was like a paint almost.
Yeah, it felt really like... It sounded like I might have passed gas. But I did not. It factually didn't happen. It was the way that I shifted
Did
my
it really
body.
not?
It didn't, I promise.
I was like, you can just say
Honestly.
you farted and it was funny. Okay, I believe it now, actually, kind of.
It was like,
Anyway.
there it is.
You're just like,
Anyway, I did
slowly
not
farting.
do that. But yeah, I loved it. There's this kid in my elementary school. His name was Dan. And he had a whole box of all these pens. He was the pen kid.
Yeah. And some of them were like glitter. They're all over the place. Do you remember? We're just talking about writing utensils, but that's an important part of handwriting. There was like one that was like your hairs. That was like a clicker, like with different colors, all in the same pen.
Great pen.
Really, I thought they were bad.
Oh, I like the theory of it.
You like the
Writing with it,
utility.
awful.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah. And now, do you have this thing from writing utensils on your? I have like a callus on my writing finger.
That's insane. How much were you writing?
I was really into taking notes. See how much bigger this fingy is than this one?
That's crazy.
Yeah. I love to take notes and stuff. I don't do it that much anymore, but I used to just do it while reading books, like words that I didn't know, and like write down the word and the definitions
awesome.
and like quotes I like. And now I take pictures of the quotes I like with my phone. I'm like, what am I doing? I really should start writing that shit down again. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Or like my words I do for videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have a notes app note full of those. I gotta start writing them down in my journal.
Yeah. You should I like the tiny little notebooks that you can put in your pocket. I really like those.
No. Do you mean the ones that you?
That's fine. I don't care.
I think that's cute. Where it's like
it's
it
little-
flips open.
Yeah, I
and
have
you're
one
like,
of those.
Like whatever, like a little reporter in the field.
Yeah, honestly, anytime I see one for like free somewhere, I just take it and I'm like, I'll use that until it's done.
Where's that happening?
Like a
Real
like
estate office?
Yeah, like a dentist office or something. I don't know. I don't care.
Did you ever see Harriet the Spy? We've talked about this.
I haven't, but I imagine it's a notebook maybe.
There is, because Harriet is a spy and she takes notes
Wow.
on like kids and goings ons in her little life, and like has a bunch of what's the like black and white modeled design that's on the classic notebook. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And those were the ones you wanted to get, but now they're hard to find, kind of, actually. Just saying.
Do you remember Blue's Clues, that notebook?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, the flip open.
Yeah, like a little, like, it's a stenographer
Yeah.
notebook.
Something like
What's
that.
a stenographer?
It's a note taker, like a court stenographer. And they write in shorthand. You ever seen what shorthand is? If you don't know what shorthand is, and like, I mean, it is what stenographers, they type often in it on like a different type of keypad, but you can do it by hand. And it looks like chicken scratch. It's just random fucking loops and stuff that do amount to whole words, but you only know what it says if you've like studied that. It's really cool. Now I'm going to use a government sanctioned Google to show you.
There's one a fiscal month and you're allowed to use it.
This is there was like one time when I did like 5 in an episode though.
I allowed you to do those. Because, and listen, it's not me allowing it. It's really corporate. But for all our audio only listeners, I'm currently looking at what a
picture of
stenographer shorthand handwriting looks like. It does look like nothing.
Yeah. Like you looking at that on a paper without knowing, you'd be like, what toddler?
Wow. It looks like absolutely nothing.
It's so interesting though that a whole career is based on learning that.
Do you think that job is going to go away because of AI?
Probably.
I think so, because it's like you can just record that and transcribe it in some way.
Yeah. I mean, there's like automatic live AI on YouTube that just tries to best guess at what's being said in the video.
But I also don't really know what the utility of that is in court. Like when it's like, I know like they'll be like, can you read back the notes? Like I was just seeing that in TV show.
It's just transcribing like the goings on so people can go back to looking at the case and stuff.
Yeah.
And like know factually what happened because the court stenographer is an impartial party that's just witnessing and taking notes. I mean, everyone has inherent bias. But anyway.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about inherent biases? Do you want to talk about yours?
Not really.
God, that's precarious. That is barely on there. For all the audio,
It was more than
listeners,
halfway on, I will have you know.
There's about a quarter of that plate on.
It wouldn't have stayed on there then.
Well, there's a lot of dark magic going on. Anyway,
That's what I do.
when you were in school and you were writing your A's, did you change the A's?
Yeah.
I did so as well.
What was your evolution?
So I started with the normal A.
Yeah.
Circle with a little line.
yeah.
Yeah, like it looks a lot like it's like a circle and like the half of a T, the T without the top, just a straight line down. So that, but then I changed it to like an upside down umbrella handle with an O at the bottom.
Yes.
You
Same.
know?
Same. And I do one loop around though.
I start at the handle of the umbrella.
Yes. And come down and go in there.
See, I didn't do that. I picked up at the bottom or the top.
Start at the bottom.
Started at the bottom.
Yeah.
Now we're. But I started the handle and I went around here and then I took my hand off
And
at
then
the
made
top
the
of the
loop.
pole, and then made the circle.
Yeah. And then now where are you now?
I'm back to circle with the just line from the T, but
'Cause
the top of the T's not on it.
I feel like we were all faking writing the A like that because we thought it was cool.
Yeah, no one does it.
Someone probably does it naturally, but I also am like,
No,
do you?
0%.
You don't have to keep lying to yourself.
The other thing that I adopted was putting a slash through a 7.
Oh
or a
yeah,
Z.
like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also did that for a period of time and was like, "What am I, European? Like, what are we doing here?"
I don't know why I did it.
I also, for a time, instead of doing like a plus sign for an and, I did an ampersand, like the whole fucking shebang, because I was like, refined.
What does that say about kids now?
What do you mean?
Like the kids that did that, you know, those kids are wearing beanies.
Not untrue. I feel like it's just a whole other trying to figure your shit out, and this was a means of expression and one that we had to engage with every day for like however long fucking school is, 6 hours of the day.
Yeah.
So it was trying to be unique within that little thing.
Yeah, I was trying to find like personality in it and owning it.
And I would just write in all caps.
It does make sense. I went through an all caps phase.
Yeah.
With the Pilot G2 pen.
Specific.
Yeah. But the all caps phase didn't feel didn't feel like authentic to me. Yeah. So I stopped doing it.
Not doing
It
you.
felt really contrived because there were kids that were all caps kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're an all caps kid and I'm not. And I know that.
Do you think I am an all caps kid for real?
I think you're an all caps adult. I don't think you're an all caps kid.
So sorry.
But I do think that now you own that space.
Is it
You know
because
what I mean?
it's masculine?
Yeah. Yeah, you also have like undertones of like, you know, just got to get it in, got to get it done.
Yeah, I do write pretty fast.
You really do.
But I try to also write neatly. It drives me insane
You're a
when...
neat writer.
Have you seen Brad's handwriting? We're talking shit on Brad so much recently on here.
Probably bad.
It's really bad. It is a toddler's handwriting. And that's... I feel like that's a cis boy thing.
Yeah.
Calling him out.
You got to take pride in the handwriting,
Yeah.
you know?
I wanted to... I've written letters back when that was a thing to people and fucked up a line or something and it didn't look nice like the rest. And I'm like, gotta start over.
Start over here.
Gotta copy the whole thing.
But writing a letter is a lot about that. It's very like, you know, you're kind of showing off.
Yeah.
So
And it's such a more intimate means of communication. You got to make it like count.
Yeah.
Get in there.
I went through a letter phase as well. I went through a thank you note phase. And I wish I still had that.
Bad.
I wish I still had that phase.
What were you writing thank you notes for that it required a phase?
I bought like a box of these cards.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to like go to college, like second college thing,
yeah,
I moved away from my friend group. And I would send letters like to them as just like kind of ironic and funny.
Oh, okay.
Like
you weren't being like, thank you for being a friend.
No, like I did this one really, really funny thing where I gave them all. This is gonna sound crazy.
I'm excited about it.
This is gonna sound insane. I almost don't want to tell the story.
Now you gotta dive in.
I was clipping my fingernails on my like desk, and I had a big like little pile of fingernails that I was gonna throw away.
I hate this already. I cannot stand when anyone clips their fingernails somewhere besides the bathroom. Like, why?
I want to spend as little time in the bathroom as I can.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so I was doing that, and I had a little pile of them, and I went to throw them away. But instead, what I did was I put them into an envelope, and then I made it out to my. We had this whole group, so like, sorry to talk about him again, but Brooks. And I were like the oldest of the group.
Yeah.
And then like everyone else was a year under. So they were still in school. So it's like, and they all lived together. So like I could send it
to the house.
Yeah. Like I could send it there and it went there. And I gave everyone roles in this like thing that they were supposed to do in a script.
With the fingernails.
Yeah. And then they were supposed to make a soup and put them in there and boil it. And they were supposed to eat the soup.
Do they do it?
They didn't do that part, but they did read all their parts.
That's so funny.
I gave everyone different lines, and they passed the card around. They said the different lines.
And did they record like a video or something?
No.
Oh, it was like in person.
I wasn't there for it. Oh. I just heard that they did it because also it wasn't a recorded video because this was like 2012. So like
video existed.
Yeah, but I don't think I honestly don't think I could have got video because I didn't have 3G service at the time. And I couldn't send multimedia messages.
God, that's wild.
Yeah.
That sucks you didn't get to see it though.
Yeah. It
was very funny.
Anyway, yeah, so they did the stuff I told them to say, but they didn't
do anything with the toenails.
No, they didn't eat it.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Now what was do you remember a line from the thing they were supposed to say?
It was all about like me and stuff.
Like
and it
how
was
awesome
all, like,
you were.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, and how much they like missed me and stuff. It was like stuff like that.
That's very funny.
It was very funny.
Honestly, it's good.
We're talking about soups in this episode.
We can if you want to.
But no, they didn't eat it, unfortunately.
Unfortunate for the team. I never did you couldn't force me to write a thank you note.
But then I started doing it and it actually felt really good. For like stuff like, I don't know, like someone would like call me out or something in like school or something.
I would do it. That is like the case that I would. It's the same as, I feel the same about it as gift giving. I don't do gift giving on things that I feel are compulsory. Like I don't do Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
But I give people that are in my like life and important to me gifts throughout the year randomly that are useful, whatever, more meaningful things. So I'm not just going to send a thank you note for whatever, like present things.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, Aunt Ginny sent, like, who cares?
Yeah.
I'd rather send it for something genuine like that.
Totally.
But now I just want to send them to friends and just have it say thank you, like just have the Golden Girls lyrics.
That's great. Thank you for being a friend,
and
baby.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that's pretty funny. Yeah, I ran out of stamps. That's what
ended it.
Ended that
You couldn't go buy another little book of stamps.
Fuck no.
Why?
I have to go to the post office. I guess I have them at like Target and stuff, right?
Yeah, I like going to the post office. I always have great experiences. The people that work at the post office love me every single time.
It's so weird.
It's so funny to me to look up the post office near me, and they always have terrible reviews, always, which is not fair because no one's going to the post office to have a good time. You're going to send mail.
Yeah.
And the people working there are doing their best.
Yeah.
But it'll be someone that's like 2.5 stars or some shit, and then I'll go and have just like a lovely time.
Yeah. You're also very nice to service people.
worker. Yeah. because I know that life.
Yeah.
It doesn't help anyone to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Even if you're having a bad day, just suck it up.
I agree.
No one's being willfully unhelpful. Anyway, now I'm
Now you're back on your soapbox.
yeah, about being nice to service workers.
Yeah. Who in your life do you know that's had good handwriting?
I always really liked my mom's parents' handwriting, which is really specific.
Yeah.
But they used to have scrapbooks of a lot of baby pictures of me and my sisters, and each one would have a label like Guam 85 or, things like that.
Like a rating.
Yeah. yeah. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Try harder,
Yeah.
And I liked looking at those books specifically to see their handwriting in different captions and stuff, just because there's a way that people of the 50s and before wrote that was so much more refined.
It was really, I have some of my grandma's handwriting.
Yeah.
And she's still alive. So she's still writing. But it's really like bubbly.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of hard edges on
Yes. Very like fluid.
Yeah.
And there's was always like, I mean, it's literally just cursive, but it slanted but so definite.
Yeah.
Like they were just writing normally, not trying very hard,
Yeah.
but it was so certain and looked so uniform and awesome.
Well, you had to know how to spell things.
Well,
You had
that's
to know
true.
how to do
Yeah.
it, because it's like, I don't think they had phones, right?
No.
Cell phones,
Well, they had
right?
the phone on the wall, the rotary.
Could the phone on the wall do a text message?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
now in
that's
some
maybe
kind of
why.
hacker's way,
Maybe that's why they
learned how to
good
write
at
so
it.
well. Yeah. Who knows?
Did you have a friend that had really good handwriting?
I can't think off the top of my head like that.
We should do a segment called Guess the Handwriting. And
Oh,
it
we
should be
get
a bunch of
people?
handwriting and a bunch of people. And we have to match them up.
That's such a good idea. We match them up, or we have a third party match them up.
No. It's you and I. And
How-
then
okay.
we line up a bunch of people.
We'll have to get
and
our
then we line up
producer
a bunch of
to make the slides.
Um
This is easily done. I already have like so many people I want to ask for them. Can you imagine what like Dane's handwriting looks like?
it's probably bad.
Maybe, yeah.
It's probably not very good. I think that would be very fun.
I think that's a great idea.
Personally, I want to do it.
It's gonna be a flop. Everyone's gonna be like, no one cares about your friends.
Yeah, it's not gonna do well.
But here we are.
Do you know one of my favorite Rhett and Link things that they did? They did Do I Recognize You or something.
Oh yeah, we watched one of those together, and one of them was the guy who did their vasectomies or something.
I thought that was brilliant because it's like,
So personal.
Yeah.
We have no stakes in this exchange that's happening.
but it's like so fun to like think about the fact that's like, would you remember your doctor from 7 years ago's face?
Probably.
I don't think we would.
It's just some of that was so cringe. Like where they did not recognize the woman forever. And it was like, fuck. Like that would hurt. Like,
Yeah. Well, also, I don't think it was cringe because like she was on like a segment forever ago, and it's not that they didn't recognize her; it was that they couldn't place what happened.
Oh, okay.
And they did place what happened.
Yeah,
with
eventually,
her.
'cause it was
They-
talking about
I think
groceries and
Rhett
picking out
find-
fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rhett found out.
Yeah.
I thought the cringe part about that was like, didn't they kind of like they kept talking about bananas and like
yeah, they
kinda
made
like-
it sexual and it was really
yeah,
awkward.
I thought that was kind of cringe, but no.
We've gone on a whole tangent here.
It's easy to watch Rhett and Link and be like cringe for me.
Yeah.
For me. But then I have to sit back and think like,
You always say this like they're dads. You have to look at the context of like,
yeah, and they're also like the first.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for fucking like 20 years.
has YouTube existed? Yeah, it has.
Well,
existed
didn't they
for 20
start
years.
before? They started before YouTube.
I have no idea about the lore of Rhett and Link, honestly.
They've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
And it's like they built this thing that's like pretty
wild.
crazy. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's so easy to pick apart one little bitty thing. But then when you think about the whole like ecosystem, you're like, it's like pretty incredible.
I wonder what their handwriting's like.
Maybe we just need to react to every Rhett and Link video. When you were in school,
Sorry.
whenever you do it, you go like, you like push it out, then suck it back in. Kind of
Oh.
like, Do it.
I laughed while I was hitting it, and it got weird. Hold on.
What do you mean it got weird? For all the audio only listeners, we're losing Cam. This is going to be his last episode with us.
Cam is being fired. It's
I
about to be the corn wall because it's. Do you get it?
Oh yeah, it's funny.
Thank you so much. Because 2 walls make a corner.
I never thought about it being a corner.
Yeah. What?
I never thought about this.
Oh, that's not what I didn't think about that either. This is good for audio only, like physical only pantomiming.
Yeah,
it translates.
Translates
anyway,
well.
I do with cigarettes too. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I watched you do it. It's out. See what I mean? That has nicotine in it.
Yeah.
How many nicotine's in it versus a cigarette stick?
I don't actually know. I should Google that.
Yeah, you should probably know that.
Well, I know it's markedly less than me sitting outside and smoking 3 cigarettes in a row.
I watch Twitch, and then starting to get ads because they think I'm like a 12-year-old watching Twitch.
Yeah.
And it's telling me about how vaping's bad and how there's chemicals. Is that what they're telling me about?
Yeah. Vaping is absolutely bad.
You gotta stop.
Cigarettes
Why are we
worse,
doing it?
because I'm trying to quit cigarettes. I stopped smoking 3 at a time, like every time
Fuck
I go
yeah.
out.
Nice.
So,
How
like
many-
I smoked 1 when I went out there this morning.
Good.
Yeah.
We love that.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna.
I've smoked like only 7 the last like few days.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about that.
That sounds
so
really
that
bad,
thing
but-
is working.
Yeah, but then it's like I need to cut.
Yeah.
But I really don't do that. There's like a huge section of the day that I don't do that. And at home, I've also been not going out to smoke until like 2 or 3 p.m., which has been cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'll tell you. Your shoulder just popped in a way that sounded. It was a deep pop.
That's my bad shoulder. Shibari.
Hey. Speaking of Shibari, Doll's gonna be here.
Oh, yeah. Someone on Discord, go join the Corn Corner Discord, made a Corn Corner bingo and mentioning Kiss Me Deadly Doll
Calling us out.
was one of them.
Just calling us out to we love her.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
She's going to be here, and then I have to go to Vermont to get tattooed, and then so we're going to do stuff here. Like
Amazing.
we're all going to hang out
Yeah.
like here, and then I go to Vermont and get tattooed, and then it's funny because we used to do a thing when I lived on the East Coast where I would like often show up at her house and have some fresh tattoo and be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like just tie me. It's totally fine. So I'm like, you get to do that again.
God.
But I think it's just outline stuff and not actual fill, like black work
On your middle of your body?
I have like 2 different weekends set up with him this next May and July. And we're just trying to do bodysuit stuff, like fill in bodysuit stuff.
Can we make this about the Corn Corner at all?
Probably. We can
Like-
make it like a vlog, travel vlog.
Maybe that would be fun. Like, could we do? I want to go to the Transfigure Print Company.
Well, that's not, I'm going to Vermont.
Is that close? I don't know where Vermont even is. I'll be honest.
Really?
I know it's on the right of the map.
Yeah.
Top, maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
Michigan's up there too, right?
In the center more.
I don't know. I don't really. It doesn't matter because these things I don't have to put in my mind because I got it on a phone. I can just look at it if I need it.
And this comes right back to the handwriting thing. We got to stop relying on the phone for everything. You couldn't point out on a map of the United States. You couldn't label them. Like you couldn't probably even label half of them.
There's no way I could label half of them.
That's nuts.
I have no. There's no way I could label where Vermont is.
It's right.
To
like,
me,
it's right up there.
To me, it's not even like a real state. But you had the ability.
It's big.
Maybe. I don't know that. You had the luxury of like you grew up in the top right.
Yeah.
So
Vaguely, yeah.
so you kind of figured out all those little ones that are up there. There's a lot of them up there.
There is.
So I grew up in Louisiana. Like it's like
There's big ones down there.
yeah,
It's
there's like
just
6
big.
of them.
Yeah.
You know, so I never needed to learn all those.
And in the Midwest, it all just kind of gets murky. They're just
Yeah.
all squares.
Like there's like that whole road. There's so many at the very top that they have to like take it off the actual squares and put lines and put the names. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Are you
like
talking about-
Texas, you can put Texas inside the bubble.
Oh, yeah.
the
So like
shape
a
of the
Rhode
state.
Island, you have to label it off the map.
Yeah, there's
Sure.
you gotta do that to all of them up there or something.
A lot of them.
How are you gonna remember that?
There's not that many when you really think about it.
We don't know how many there are.
Well, I know that Michigan is a large one.
Wow. It's by the lakes. It's by Ohio.
Yeah,
Close.
yeah, yes. It
See
is
what I
closer to Ohio than it is to California. That is correct. What are you thinking about?
I used to think that Vegas, in relation to California, was like still like south, like kind of along the coast. Like I didn't realize it was like inland.
Oh, it's way in Nevada.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Now you know. Now you're an adult. You got wise.
And I still kind of forget it.
What's a state? What's a state you've not been to that you do actually want to go to, other than Detroit for the reason of visiting, or other than Michigan for the reason of visiting Transfigure Print Co. Really put you on the spot.
I've driven through New Mexico, but that would be cool.
I love New Mexico. It's a great one.
Yeah.
Albuquerque, get in there.
I think Montana would be cool.
Montana's awesome. It's very scary in a lot of parts for us.
Yeah.
But like Bozeman is like super super like hippie dippy. I'll never forget when Brad and I moved from Baltimore out to Seattle, and we like stayed in Montana for a few days because I love it there. But we stopped in some town like Thunder something and walked into a local coffee shop, bakery place, and we were the only people wearing masks. And everyone, like, it was like in a movie where you walk through the door and the music stops and everyone's like,
y'all ain't from around here.
And I was like wearing shorts and like a t-shirt, so I was like, like,
all right.
Yeah. Let me get a cinnamon bun and get out of here.
You like take your pronoun sticker off your shirt real slow. Yeah.
Take that pin off that says the F slur.
Jesus.
We weren't there yet. This is pre-transition.
Yeah, I don't really. So okay, I have an idea that I want to do. I want to make a coffee table book. Mm-hmm. It's one of my goals of life.
Yeah.
I don't have a single photograph taken for it, but it's something I want to do. Anyway, I want to do one around like diners and like maybe like take pictures of like salt shakers and like diners across the United States.
Yeah.
Or like something really specific.
That sounds super fun.
Like that.
We talked about doing a DOMS, DOMME one.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to do one like to photograph a Dom in all the states, and I'll figure out how many there are.
Yeah.
But
how many states there are?
Yeah. But it'll be that many pages.
Yeah. Maybe more, so you can have a little write-up about them on the opposite page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that would be really cool. But I don't want to just be like, I think intersections are really interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just be like, all right, in a dungeon, you know, like I want it to be like something that is unique to their situation. Like,
yeah,
I would love to talk to like a pro dom in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
where do you
what?
Yeah. Where do you scene or like or day-to-day shit or whatever.
So like, you know, what that intersection is, I think would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I would love that.
I tried to find pro doms in Mississippi when I was doing some research.
Yeah.
I like couldn't.
Where were you looking?
I like searched like Mississippi pro doms. I went on all the sites that would
like,
show up.
A lot of them don't exist anymore, actually, the sites to find people.
Yeah, I went on twitter.com, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And
that one's on its way out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah. I think those things are completely within the realm of possibility. It's just allowing yourself. I think we both have a problem where we get an idea, and I mean, my making my bedroom thing was one of the only ways that I've actually done it successfully, where it's like, I want to make this happen now.
Yeah.
And the bedroom was like, I ordered my bed frame last month or something, but then I put everything together in the last week. Like it was like,
yeah.
And like, I was like, I'm getting this done. And now it's like a room, like, and we have these ideas for projects, and it's hard because that's like a years long thing.
Yeah.
It just has to be.
It's honestly, I feel like for me, it's I think it's like gonna be like 10 years of stuff. Like I need to just do the first one.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta do one in Washington, like in Seattle. Like there's ones of convenience that are easy to just
yeah. Like I have friends in LA, I'd be like, hey, let me do it.
Yeah.
You know,
and you can go to Vegas and do that easily.
Yeah.
Whatever. Little corner vacation. I'm just gonna hop on and be like, I want to go to Sedona. Find
Let's do
a
it.
Dom there. I'm sure there's a diner there for that other project.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we do like kind of get an idea and we want it to happen ASAP.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a common thing around people in general, but a lot of it for me comes from wanting to like get up to speed as quick as I can. So like I can just make it a part of my life immediately, you know?
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of that comes from not wanting people to think that I'm like,
It's like all imposter syndrome
Yeah.
with you. Like everything comes down to that,
yeah,
which is, it's not funny. It just is interesting because you're like one of the more capable people that I'm familiar with.
yeah,
To have an idea and do the thing, whatever.
yeah. Well, I've always had to work like pretty hard at
Yeah.
stuff. Like I'm not naturally good at stuff. I really am not. I'm not.
Great at faking it then.
I'm good at like looking at the thing and being like, how do I get good at this quick?
Yeah.
That's what I'm good at. But I feel like that came because I had to figure that out. Like I had like I'm not like I don't have this like natural intuitive ability of like figuring stuff out.
I don't feel like anyone does. I guess it depends what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think of skill wise of things that I feel, I mean, I have terrible self-worth issues, but things I feel I'm really good at, video editing is like the top one. And I didn't realize until recently thinking about it that I've been video editing for like almost 8 years. Like I started to learn in like 2017. So like 6 to 7 years or something. And that's like weird to be like, yeah, no shit, you're good at it now. You've been doing it for 7 years. But to remind yourself of that when thinking of other things that you want to be good at, like we're not going to be good at like skating because you just started doing that, or I want to be like a filmmaker. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Maybe in like 5 years I'll be like, okay, I got it now.
I like Trevor Noah. I think he's
Yeah.
great. And he had Oprah on. And one of the things that I'll watch Trevor Noah talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And he kind of asked, he's like, you've talked to a million successful people. Like, what is a common
I'm
thread?
shocked she still does interviews. I feel like Oprah doesn't need to do anything.
No.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But she was like, the biggest thread is that the people that are successful know where they want to go. I was like, damn, that's awesome.
Like, you know, the goal at least.
Yeah. You have like a direction you're like moving in, you know, and you're like working at it every day.
That's good to think about. Because I'm like, maybe I'm not that much of a fuck up.
Yeah, you're definitely not, because like it makes sense. It's like you're good at video editing because you do it.
Yeah.
That's
all the
it.
time.
You know, it's like it's like you have to edit the things and like you enjoy it.
But then we
a lot
work
of
in the other
times.
things, like script writing, shit like that.
Yeah, that's the thing that does get overwhelming for me is I'm like, I get a new thing and I'm like, okay, like I want some degree of proficiency in this.
Yeah.
You know?
But you're not going to have it unless you do it.
I know.
Bring it around.
Bring it around, you gotta do it. So, cursive.
I know. This is another one where we went like, it's like the fears episode where we started just talking about like,
Yeah.
we're like life.
We can delete everything we just said.
Yeah. I'm going to just get up there. And,
Do you want to?
No. That was a moving little conversation we had.
Can you maybe video edit in maybe like a small duck or something?
Just like quacking across?
Yeah. That
Tony,
might be
Tony
fun.
Honk.
Tony Hawk.
R.I.P. to Tony Honk. I don't know
Yeah.
if Dot watches this podcast.
I don't
but
think Dot watches it.
maybe. Dot and I are recently. I was told that Dot calls me pubert in private
fun.
to our friend group.
That's cute. Pubert.
Yeah,
That's fun.
it is. It's an Addams Family character, just so you know where the name is from.
I had no idea.
Well, it's but also the puberty aspect is funny, topical.
Did people call you Lurch?
No.
No.
I was never that tall. I like the normal, like Jolly Green, like those those ones.
Lurch is a little insulting.
I would love if someone called me Lurch now.
Yeah.
I think that'd be funny as hell.
But as
like,
a kid.
no, probably
Bad news
not good
bears.
for me when I was a kid. Hey, Lurch, you'd be like,
Like, goddamn.
I'm 8.
I have made an effort to start writing in cursive more though.
I I could, but it would feel very disingenuous.
Yeah, I have been kind of doing that, and I've taken a lot of joy in it.
For why? Like, what's your? I don't think it's. I mean, obviously, I don't think it's a bad thing. But just what's your reasoning?
I just want to make it look not like absolute shit because my handwriting is like chicken scratch.
Yeah, you
bad.
are pretty messy handwriting usually.
So I was like, sometimes I'm just like, I'm gonna actually like try and make this better.
It's put more intention into what you're writing. Also,
Yeah. My friend Jude took handwriting classes.
I was gonna say Jude probably has amazing handwriting.
She does.
I just think of her that way.
She
For some
has
reason I've never met her.
Beautiful handwriting. Yeah, she took like handwriting classes and like I was gonna hire a handwriting tutor for a bit, but
You could probably just learn online also.
yeah, there's a bunch.
That'd be a thing.
My big thing about that stuff is like I know I can learn online, but I'm
bad at it.
I would pay a teacher for like one lesson.
Yeah.
Just to be like, give me like regurgitate the stuff that's already online with me in a like a one-on-one setting.
Yeah.
And then I'll go online and like see the stuff.
Yeah.
Like for some reason that helps me.
Oh, I mean, it makes sense. It's far easier to focus. One, it's paying a real person, which rules.
Yeah.
But it's far easier to focus on a one-on-one lesson where the person is physically in front of you and you have paid and you're like, I need to get something. Like
Yeah.
it's a waste if I don't engage with this.
Yeah.
So you get into it.
The buy-in is pretty important.
Yeah.
Like I found that with like vocal lessons.
That
I'm
was like rope for me also.
yeah.
I didn't take rope super seriously until I started taking in-person lessons. And then it was like,
Yeah. Have you heard of the Briarbite podcast?
I'm not familiar. How did you talk about
There's
that?
this banger new podcast produced by Shibari Study.
Yep.
Host, amazing.
I've heard good things about her.
Well, it's me.
Really cool guests.
Yeah, really, really cool guest. There's an episode that you're on that's essentially just the Corner talks about Shibari.
Talks about rope. Well, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. So
Well, I guess, my thoughts always lead me to this. And it's, when you're writing things,
I was like, where's this going?
do you have any final thoughts about writing things?
I thought you were gonna do some weird like wherever you go, there you are. Like one of those nothing sayings.
Yeah.
That you're like, the fuck does that mean? Like
Wherever you go, here you are.
yeah, it's like can't do shit. Like
Have you seen those mid-century WM like wholesale memes or something? I think it's like mid-century wholesale memes.
I think
it's
I
like
love them.
What?
I would probably love them.
Yeah, you would. It's
Yeah.
funny. And it's like, what's that movie? It's like maybe a Tarantino movie where that guy walks in, he's like, the fuck is this?
I need more to go on.
That's all I know.
Okay.
Anyway, it's like one of them is like when a new area has been gentrified and it's like the background's like this ugly ass mural and then like a bunch of concrete boxes.
Are you talking about John Travolta turning around confused?
No.
Okay.
This is another guy.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
And he's like,
Anyway.
the fuck is this?
Okay.
That's it.
Good.
They talk about Carhartt
Well,
negatively.
I'm not wearing
So-
negatively.
Well,
I don't
no,
want anything to do with it then.
it's more the meme, And let's be honest with you, wearing Carhartt, getting an oat milk latte.
But I also do Carhartt shit.
You put together a bed.
Do you know how hard that thing was to put together?
Listen, I'm not saying it wasn't hard.
It was like raw lumber.
I'm not.
Like it was legitimately. I did rope stuff. I told you.
I know you did.
Because the one peg was like an inch off of the hole it needed to go into. So I was like, hold on, I got this, because we couldn't like strengthen it in. And I did like tied a rope to it and did a pulley and was like, yeah. And I
Wow.
like cranked it and we got it. Like it was so easy. I was like, I knew I could do
Wow.
it. And then I did it another time.
And how did you negotiate that scene?
It was one of those subs that was like anything goes.
And you're like, yeah, baby.
And I was like, all right, scat. Just kidding.
Wow, and you put that in there.
Yeah.
Wow. And that went over great.
That's what I always say though when people are like, you can do whatever. I'm like, oh really?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, are you into da da da? And they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, because no one is. But then you need to like, you can't just say anything goes.
Yeah.
Dumbass. I don't have any final thoughts on handwriting. I do. This has made me want to transfer things I have in my notes app into my notebook.
Yeah.
And move forward from there.
I find
with
that the notebook works better than my phone.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because the phone notes app feels scary and it doesn't feel permanent to me. Like, I know it backs up to this stuff, but it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like something I'm going to reference.
Yeah. And I do forget about them often. I think I hadn't been writing things in a notebook because I have trauma from being a child of like someone finding your journal
Yeah.
and reading it. Not that I'm writing anything that I would want people not to find,
Yeah.
even because everyone knows my phone passcode. Like, there's no whatever. But it's like that lingering, like,
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
but I'm like, I'm gonna do that.
yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, what a great way to end this. Talking about a little bit of childhood trauma.
That's
on
how I
this
like to always
episode.
bring it around. Bring it back home in more ways than one.
Well, speaking of that, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. Make sure you subscribe to every single video that we put up on this YouTube channel. You're going to love it. Make sure you give it a good thumb and make sure you can tip these videos. You can send us money per video.
Can you?
You might be able to.
You can probably do it on Patreon.
I'm not quite sure, but you can do it.
Got a lot of ad-free stuff and extras there, and I don't know what to say about it.
There's nothing else to say, but I do know what to say. If you're shucked or you're cream, no, if you're creamed corn,
It doesn't matter if you're shucked.
or if you're creamed,
Yeah. Doesn't matter what kind of corn you are.
just make sure that you're kind corn.
I don't even think we do that every episode anymore. Are we shaking hands?
We generally do shake.
Do we?
I'm not.